I'm doing great. A little chilly this morning, a little rainy, but we love it. I don't know if it's all our prayers, but it's definitely doing a good chunk of the damage. So most of the reservoirs, like all the small reservoirs in the vineyards, are full. Lake Berryessa is filling up, so it's looking great. And we're getting more rain for the week, so we're happy. Yeah, so this is the Miller House. This is our new entertainment hospitality center, just completed. So one of the first groups to have in here. So welcome. And as you can see, we're looking around here. It's an open air barn, some fireplaces, indoor, outdoor living, and we'll be able to host groups in here, wine clubs, and hospitality events. And named in honor of Leslie Frank Miller was her maiden name. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's going on with us. How about you? Actually, as everybody knows, Frank family was acquired by Treasure Estates a little over a year ago. So we celebrated the anniversary in December, and it's going really well. So a lot of new vineyard sourcing, some new production facilities to use and access, and still trying to same winemaking team here at Frank family. So good. Going down the same path. Treasury has a lot of land holdings, and now we're starting to deal with them as for the future too. So we're redeveloping some land for Chardonnay and Pinot Noir down in Carneros. So it is, and then different vineyards, different sites. They own a big ranch in Sonoma side of Carneros, and our brand is Carneros. So both sides. They own a lot of land in the Napa side, so that's fun. And then kind of full circle is the Beckstoffer fruit I buy a lot of is old BV5 that BV sold years ago that if they didn't, it would have been in the fold too. But so I'm still buying fruit from their original vineyards. Yeah, so it's fun. Very much so. Leslie's still leading the marketing department here for Frank family, and Rich is an ambassador at will. And but I think they're enjoying a lot of travel and living a great life. And you'll still see them running around here. And this is Leslie's little baby right here. Cab is king, but we also probably, if you ask 10 people, 5 say Cab, we're known for, and the other 5 will say Chardonnay. So as Cab is king, Chardonnay would be the queen, I guess. And we have 80 acres down in Carneros, and then along with the Treasury Group, they have hundreds of acres down in Carneros, so we're able to access Chardonnay down there and Pinot Noir, its sibling. We have great relationships with the Beckstoffers and the San Giacomos down there, so they're our largest independent growers. So those are our Carneros wines, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, siblings, same vineyard sourcing. We do Zinfandel still. It's getting a little more difficult to find Zinfandel in the main Napa Valley. So our big sourcing is Childs Valley, which is it's a sub-appellation in Napa. The Sinceri Nicolini family farm that for us. So that's still good. And then we have some fun projects with little Sangiovese, tasting room only, some vineyard designates, tasting room only, and then we do sparkling wine still. So we do mainly tasting room, but a little leaks out into the market, and it's Carneros, Blanc de Blanc, Brut Rosé. Our Tête de Cuvée is Lady Edith, named after Rich's mother, and then we do a Rouge. Only tasting room. It's a red sparkling. It looks like a sparkling Pinot Noir, but picked at Champagne maturities and Method Champenoise. So it's kind of fun. It gives us excitement to see all this rain coming, and even the little bit of snow, it was an inconvenience at my house. I was snowed in on Friday and couldn't get out, but and some trees are down. Inconvenience, but that snow melt turns into water, runs down the hill. Again, the more rain we can get into the soil, the better at this time. The vines are all asleep, as you said, they're dormant. Napa Valley doesn't get that cold. I mean, it got cold enough to snow, but it's not in areas where we're going to have frost damage to the vines when they're dormant. It can happen in severe areas, but not here, or hasn't. So this rain's great. Just let it keep going, fill the creeks and the reservoirs we talk about, but what we don't, the aquifer underneath, it's got to go down there too, because we've been, everybody's pumping water like crazy, and we haven't had that much lately. So this is fantastic. As much as we can, let it go. Now come March, in a month or so, with bud break coming out, then we'll have a different, we'll want it to slow down, and the frost slow down a little bit, and we have measures to control that, but we'd rather not be counting on that. So we've got a good 2-3 weeks of let this happen. They're still pretty youthful wines, but the growing season started well. We got a pretty good heat spike during the harvest that I haven't seen. I've been in Napa for almost 40 years now. I grew up in Northern California. And the heat spikes we saw last year were something we've never seen before. So we were concerned with that. All the fruit came in fine. The Chardonnays, Pinot Noirs look fantastic. The reds we're still evaluating. The Cabernets, particularly, we're still evaluating as we go through this. Completely different than 21. 21 was a very tight season, very small crop-wise, and very concentrated. This was a little bigger crop season, and I think the Cabernets are going to need some work. Yeah, well, I think if you're going to say wine versus maybe a grower's vintage, some years just get the heck out of the way, right? And the grapes come in and everything's perfect. 11, for example, and I think 22 with the heat will be more of a winemaker's vintage too, to help direct the wines a little more, and where we have more influence in the wines, because Mother Nature might not have been perfect. It wasn't a Goldilocks vintage. No, and what's fun, I never get tired. I live in Angwin, so up on the hill, Howell Mountain, drive down but when I drive from Calistoga, the town, to Carneros, because I'm in vineyards all day during the growing season, I never get tired of that. I never do. And what's even more fun, it doesn't happen a lot, when I'm a passenger in the car. I see something new I've driven by 100 times, but I'm focused on the road or something, and there'll be something I'll see as a passenger, and I'll go, "Wow, that is cool." And the wineries are so. We all know a handful of super fancy architectural digest wineries, and you can still find more. You'll find a new one and go, "Oh my God, that's brilliant." And so, no, I never do. And again, we're very fortunate here in Napa. Just drive over the hill, and we're in Sonoma County, and there's a whole nother differences. And then, another 30 minutes is the ocean. So we're so lucky. San Francisco's an hour, so we're so lucky here. Sure, it's frankfamilyvineyards.com. It's a great website, actually. It's really kind of a cool website. Check it out, and there's stories going on. There's blogs in there all the time, and it kind of takes you through a day in the life. So it's a fun website.